latest news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. The Ramadan evening discusses cooperative societies and the economic importance in the Sultanate of Oman. The Hajj registration for citizens and residents starts from 9th to 14th of May. And the UN Secretary General is in Moscow to mediate the Ukraine conflict and pushes for an immediate ceasefire. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq sent cable of greetings to His Majesty King Willem Alexander of the Netherlands on the occasion of his birthday. His Majesty the Sultan sent cable of greetings to His Excellency President Julius Maada Bio of the Republic of Sierra Leone on the occasion of his country's independence anniversary. His Majesty also sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency President Faure Gnassingbe of the Republic of Togo on the occasion of his country's National Day. And His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq sent similar cable to His Excellency Cyril Ramaphosa of the Republic of South Africa on the occasion of his country's National Day. The Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry held its 5th Ramadan evening on the cooperative societies. The event was presided over by His Excellency Qais bin Mohammed Al Yusuf, Minister of Commerce, Industry and Investment Promotion. More details in the following report.
Cooperative societies between ambition and reality, the law regulating their work, their importance to the economy, and the mechanisms for addressing the challenges and difficulties they encounter were the most prominent topics discussed at the 5th Ramadan evening of Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry.
Oman, as we all know, it's a huge country where we need really to capitalize on different comparative advantages in each city, and I think we have all what it takes to do so. Oman is about to build more local community company, and part of those local community company, they can do the cooperative or this kind of what they call it, company. I think it's an important step. We better really to look from the broad perspective of having a local community company.
The experiences of developing consumer cooperative societies in the GCC countries were reviewed at the event, in addition to the ways to benefit from such expertise in expanding consumer cooperative societies in the Sultanate of Oman.
Oman Coop, it's one of the initiatives. It's a brand name owned by Shinaz Tatwir Shinaz. We founded in 2015, and alhamdulillah, with the grace of God, alhamdulillah, we have raised the capital, and right now we have 3 branches and the 4th in Brahmi. Coop, it's a new concept. We started, and alhamdulillah, it's getting spread, and inshallah, with the cooperation of city center, we're expecting to grow 75 branches in the next 5 years, and hope inshallah we'll cover all the demands.
Statistics show that the size of the cooperative society's economy of all kinds around the world amounts to around $2.5 trillion, which reflects the contribution of cooperative societies in boosting the country's GDP. Establishing an integrated system for cooperative societies will provide more options for consumers to obtain various high-quality goods at reasonable and competitive prices. For the Sultanate of Oman television, Salih Khalfan al-Rahbi, Muscat.
The Ministry of Endowments and Religious Affairs announced Hajj registration for citizens and residents is open during the period from 9th to 14th of May. The ministry stated that registration for pilgrims from Oman will be online. Any registration that is incomplete or submitted before registration period or after the deadline will not be considered. The Sultanate of Oman's pilgrims for this year was decreased by 45% to 6,333 due to COVID-19 preventive measures in place. The Ministry of Health signed a financing agreement for the expansion of Sawadi Health Center in the Wilaya of Barka. The agreement will enhance the services provided by the health center and raise its capacity to provide comprehensive health services. The agreement was signed by His Excellency Isa bin Hamad Al-Azri, Governor of South Al-Batna. Al-Wusta Municipal Council discussed during its meeting a proposal for protection dam of Al-Najda village and barricades to stop sand encroachment. The council also discussed landslides on the coastal road in Wilaya of Al-Jazir and endorsed the minutes of the previous meeting. The meeting was chaired by His Excellency Sheikh Mi'adad bin Muhammad Al-Yaqubi, the Municipal Council Chairman and Governor of Al-Wusta. While in the Governorate of Al-Brahmi, the Municipal Council discussed during its fourth meeting matters concerning housing for expatriates. The Council also discussed promoting investment in economic and industrial zone and commercial residential land schemes. The Municipal Council in the Governorate of Al-Brahmi reviewed responses from various authorities. Still to come, a news bulletin. The massive iftar banquets in the month of Ramadan have returned in the streets of Egypt. Welcome back to the news from the Sultan of Oman television. The United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has called for the setup of humanitarian corridors to evacuate civilians and deliver aid to conflict zones in Ukraine. Guterres was speaking at the joint news conference with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov in Moscow.
And we urgently need humanitarian corridors that are truly safe and effective and that are respected by all to evacuate civilians and deliver much needed assistance. To that end, I have proposed the establishment of a humanitarian contact group bringing together the Russian Federation, Ukraine and the United Nations to look for opportunities for the opening of safe corridors with local cessation of hostilities and to guarantee that they are actually effective. Simultaneously, we recognize that we face a crisis within a crisis in Mariupol. Thousands of civilians are in dire need of life-saving humanitarian assistance and many of evacuation. The United Nations is ready to fully mobilize its human and logistical resources to help save lives in Mariupol. My proposal is for a coordinated work of the United Nations, the International Committee of the Red Cross, and Ukraine and Russian Federation forces to enable the safe evacuation of those civilians who want to leave, both inside the Azovstal plan and in the city, in any direction they choose, and to deliver the humanitarian aid required.
Tesla CEO Elon Musk stands to be the next owner of Twitter, having pledged roughly $44 billion to buy the social platform and take it private. Assuming that happens, next up on his agenda will be planning how to fulfill his promises to develop new Twitter features, open its algorithm and to public inspection, and defeat spam bots on the service that mimic real users. He'll also need to have the company start authenticating all humans, as he described it in the statement quoted in the Monday press release announcing the acquisition. Musk believes he can increase revenue through subscriptions that give paying customers a better experience, possibly even an ad-free version of Twitter. The massive iftar banquets in the month of Ramadan have returned to the streets of Egypt after being widely banned for the past 2 years due to restrictions to combat COVID-19. More in the following report.
In Cairo's popular Machariya district, fasting people sat in two opposite rows at a table along a narrow street adorned with balloons and banners, enjoying a meal of grilled meat, rice and appetizers. Charitable societies provide breakfast meals to the poor at banquets called Al-Rahman tables, while other group banquets, such as the one in Machariya, are managed and organized by groups of neighborhood residents. Haytham Adil, organizer and founder of the collective iftar idea in Machariya, said the salt returned again. People came back to break the fast next to each other, knowing their precautionary measures. While Ahmed Al-Bardisi, a charity table organizer in Giza, said job losses during the coronavirus pandemic have led to a shortage of food donations. But although many Egyptians are suffering from accelerating inflation, donations have improved this year. Egypt has been hit by successive waves of COVID-19 infections and imposed a nightly curfew during Ramadan in 2020, but most of the restrictions were lifted in the past months.
You're watching the Sound of Oman television. Before tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The Ramadan evening discusses cooperative societies and the economic importance in the Sultanate of Oman. The Hajj registration for citizens and residents starts from 9th to 14th of May. And the UN Secretary General is in Moscow to mediate in the Ukraine conflict and pushes for an immediate ceasefire. And with that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here in the newsroom and the studios, good night.